Okay.
We welcome in our 2020 pitcher, first baseman, Julia Sheppard, from Semper 18U Lucero. How you holding up during this quarantine?
Honestly, it didn't hit like that. My senior season was over, senior year was over until like literally 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It was just like I got a couple texts from like my high school coaches, so it was just kind of upsetting because there's nothing you can do about it. But it helps having my sister here because I can still practice and throw, and we can pitch to each other. So like that helps. But I miss like playing with my team and playing with like all the girls on the Semper team and seeing my coaches. So I miss that for sure.
Well, definitely. Now you've started playing out in Beaumont, am I right? Youth,
Mm-hmm.
Beaumont Youth.
Yes.
How young were you? Okay. How young were you when you started?
I think I was 8. I was 8 or 9. I think I was 8.
Now you have an
Yeah.
older sister. She played. Did you guys always play together, Caitlin and you?
No, I didn't play with Caitlin because she was 2 years older than me. So like rec ball, we never played together.
Oh.
But I started playing with her when I was 13 or 12 because I would play travel with Amanda Sage, and then I went to Bruce Blake's team, the 18 goal, with my sister. I think I was 13 or 14. That's when I started playing with her. And then from then on out.
So then you left. You went on to where? The
Corona Angels for 5 months, 6 months.
Okay.
And then I found Coach John and started playing with Coach John because the Corona Angels wasn't a fit for me. And ever since then, I've been with Coach John, and it's been a blast. I love playing for him. The environment itself is such a healthy and strong and positive environment, which I really like because everything is about the team and not about individual players. And the coaches are amazing because they help bring that positivity, but yet we're still competitive.
So you taken a little bit of a journey to different organizations. What made you make that decision to stay with John's team at Semper?
Well, to be honest, before I joined Coach John's team, I was actually debating quitting softball altogether just because mentally I had come from a team that just wasn't my fit and I had no confidence. And my thumb was broken, so I couldn't even play. And then Coach John had contacted my dad at the beginning of that summer season, but I had just joined the Corona Angels, so I wasn't going to leave that team and go to his. But I realized when my thumb was broken, I was like, maybe I just need a break. Maybe I don't want to play. But then I obviously missed it. I couldn't not play. So then I joined Coach John's team. And I just felt welcomed the second I was there by everyone, all the coaches. And everything was so positive. And just from being mentally not on the right track on the field, like my confidence was down with my last team. And then joining Coach John's team and having like that positive reinforcement from the girls on the field, the coaches, and I didn't even know anyone. I was like, this is a real family. Like I felt like myself again. So that's what really made me stay with him, because it reminded me of the old days when I played travel. Because when I was on Bruce's team, it felt that way as well.
Okay. So you're basically on the brink of leaving softball, and you found a little bit of a path with John and was on Semper and you stuck with it, and you're heading off to the next level. So
right.
that's great for you. One of the things that we talk about a lot is the thing that we get to do at the end of every day, that when we're done with our last game, we go out and we get in a circle and we do a prayer.
Right.
How much has God affected you in this travel experience and being able to keep you from ultimately quitting the game?
Well, I always know like God's with me to like strengthen me, and no matter what I'm going through, even if like mentally when I had no confidence, felt down myself regarding the sport, like I knew everything happens for a reason, and he puts you through those trials on purpose. So I feel like that happened because it only made me a better player to know, like, even when you're at your worst, you're going to get through it. You have your teammates, you have the Lord with you to strengthen you and to be there with you. So I just think he put me through that on purpose so I could learn like things happen. Life doesn't go the way you planned. You're going to hit bumps, but there's always a bright side out of it. So God honestly has really strengthened me. And especially in the last year, like, I really feel like I'm back to myself. And with being with Coach John and having that like aspect of God on the team has really, really helped support and made the positive environment that we have.
That's excellent. Now, you talked about some of the struggles that you went through, and things happen for reasons. You're in a situation right now where we talked just a few minutes ago about the quarantine and what you're doing to get through it. How are you handling the fact that you're not getting a senior day on the softball field, and that your graduation is somewhat changed, obviously? Tell us what they're doing for you at Beaumont for graduation.
I'm not going to lie, Beaumont's a little bit of a mess right now. Okay. I don't really know what's going on because they keep like saying we're going to have a drive-by and then we're going to have one later in the fall, like a real ceremony. But I guess people want to protest right now. Like, I don't really know what's going on because it's really confusing. At the moment, I'm pretty sure we're doing a drive-by to recognize like all the seniors and everything, and then maybe a graduation ceremony later on. It's kind of confusing because everything kind of keeps changing day by day with our school district, so I don't really know exactly what the final decision is. But I'm dealing with it. Yeah, it sucks that we don't get a walk and that we don't get to have a senior season, but like, I know I'm not the only one. So like, I know there's a bunch of people going through it, but I'm dealing with it by just like still keeping in contact with everyone. Cause I mean, I'll see them after this for sure. I'll come back to my high school field. Like, it's not like I'm never going to see them again, but it does. Cause we were off to a really good start. So that's the one part that I'm like, you just keep thinking, what if, but I have to keep reminding myself, well, take this time to work on things individually so I can take it to the next level and then come back and help those that are still in the high school team, just because there is nothing I can do because, we're all locked down.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to give you an opportunity here and we're going to say a few things. First thing first, let's go with your best moment on the field.
For high school or travel or both?
Travel. Let's go with travel.
My best moment. Oh, with Coach John, to be honest, I think the first time I actually played with him, because that's when I gained back my confidence. Even though the team was a whole new environment, I felt so welcomed and I performed well. And I think that was my best moment because that's when I finally overcame like what I was mentally going through with my confidence and just softball in general.
Okay. Now, you get a chance to, since you didn't get your senior day at Beaumont, and obviously we're struggling with that with Semper. I know Coach John's still working on some things.
Right.
Tell us what you would do right now. What would you say, or go ahead and say actually, to the girls and your coaching staff and the people that you want to thank? Go ahead and use this moment right now to reach out and tell them how you got through this time with them.
Well, I would first thank everyone for being there because I felt so supported and just welcomed at all times by all my coaches and all the girls. And every time we got new players, it was just like they had always been there. So I really appreciate that accepting environment we had. And I love playing with this group of girls. We had so much fun. We did so well together. And I mean, it's devastating we don't get to have like a full summer season. I don't know if we're going to get one, but I would just thank them for everything and always being there no matter what, like, and always being positive and smiling, being there for each other. Because I feel like that's not something every travel ball team has. So being able to be a part of a team like that is like, it's special. And I really loved it.
Well, you had to take that moment to thank your parents, Coach John. Go ahead and do that as well.
Well, of course, Coach John really has always been there for me. So I just want to thank Coach John for always, like being there to talk to no matter what, being there to like joke with you when you're down, because he always would make jokes when he knew I was mad at myself. So I appreciate his like humor and his positivity that he brought to the team. And honestly, he always made me laugh. So I loved being a part of a team with the coach that like could relate with the girls and pick the girls up. And then of course I want to thank you, Coach Monty, because you've coached me for a very long time. So I'm so happy I got to be a part of that with you.
Well, it's my honor. I got a chance to coach you. That was my honor. So thank you.
Well, I just love looking over, and you and Coach Howard always looked like you were up to no good. It was so funny. It was literally the funniest thing ever. When you and Coach Howard would coach together, it was so funny. I want to thank Coach Howard for always bringing humor to the team as well. I mean, all three coaches, I feel like, made it just, like, fun and, like, lighthearted. Like, nothing was ever so serious to where we were, like, scared to play. If, like, we felt comfortable, yet we knew we needed to get the job done. And I feel like that's because the way you guys coached.
I always thought Coach James was getting mad at us down there because me and Coach Howard were always messing around, and James was
well, Coach,
on the other end of the dugout.
Well, Coach James, honestly, because he called pitches a lot. So, like, I'm so happy I had, like, a comfortable relationship to where I could go and talk to him about my pitches and let him know what's not working. And we would just always talk about, like, the batters. So, like, I loved having, like, for him to be able to just talk about things and, like, understand each other's logic. So that made me – I feel like that helped me make myself a better pitcher in a way, just hearing someone else's perspective and then taking it and then him listening to my reasoning for a pitch. So that helped, and I think that helped me grow as a player as well.
It's great. And
then, of course, I want to thank my parents because, they've always supported me no matter what. I know my dad likes to yell out in the stands, but he's always been – have you not heard him, Coach Marty?
He's always saying it, but it's always a positive yell.
No, I know. It's funny, though. I'll be up to bat, and I'll hear – if I swing at a bad pitch, I'll hear him say something. It makes me laugh. Wow. But they're always there for me, and my mom was always there for me, always taking me to the game. So I honestly couldn't have done any of this without them. There's no way.
You have amazing parents, and I'll miss the rides with your dad. So.
Well, Coach Monty, I'm sure you'll be around forever. So
I always think to myself, though, it's like, when Caitlin left, I'm like, okay, I still got Julia, so I still get to hang out with Marshall for a couple more years,
Well, we can put a wig on Ryan and then go from there.
Anyway, so you've gone through this road. We've talked about your high school, your rec ball, your travel ball, your experience. Go ahead and announce the college that you'll be attending, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
I'm going to Occidental College, which is in Eagle Rock, Los Angeles. So it's not like directly in the city, which I really like because just that could be such a chaotic environment. It's perfect, like the perfect time outside if I wanted to go to the city. It's a smaller private school. It's Division III, and obviously I'm playing softball there. But I'm going to be pitching for that team, so I'm really excited to go and help the pitching staff. And I'm really just excited to take it to the next level because it's a little bit like it's going to be something new, something. And like for college, like it's a group of girls, which when I went on my visit, they were so nice and so accepting. It kind of reminded me of our travel ball team, to be honest, because everyone was just like had such great energy and were there to like for the love of the sport, which I really loved. So I'm really excited to be a part of that and let you guys all know how it goes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your recruiting and why you chose Occidental. Now, you had multiple schools looking at you, excuse me, from Division I down. So what made you choose Occidental? What was the turning point to turn everybody else down and choose them?
Well, Oxy was actually my first visit, which at the time was kind of shocking for me to even visit the school because I thought I was going to go out of state. I wanted to go out of state. But I just happened to visit the school because I was like, you know what? It's like 2.5 hours away. I'll just go. And the second I stepped foot on that campus, I fell in love. And it was with Coach Todd, who recruited me. And unfortunately, he passed away over last summer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So while we were in Colorado, he got very sick. And he was super nice. And he was like my biggest supporter to get me recruited. Mm-hmm. But I fell in love for the school the second. I just knew it was like the school for me. But then I wanted to keep my options open, so I went and visited other schools out of state. And then I
Right.
kind of realized, I was like, okay, maybe I don't want to go out of state. And then I visited a school in New Jersey, which I honestly really liked. I did. And then I was close to my sister and like close to Fish, so I knew people.
Right.
And Lorch was, I think, 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that school, but like I had just already fallen in love with Oxy.
Okay.
So then I set up my official visit with them, and I like got to know the girls. I got to know the coaches better, and like everything is what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, like I realized I'm someone that puts school before before softball, like most of the time, because I kind of get OCD over my grades, but it is what it is. And that school offered like what I was looking for academically. Right. And the coaches let us put class and schoolwork before softball, and then they would work with us for us to make up those hours. Okay. And the school like lets you research all 4 years, which is something I'm interested in. And the internships they offer is like they have connections with the children's hospital because I want to go into the medical field. So it just offered everything and more for what I was looking for. And it felt right. It felt like this is where I was supposed to go.
Okay. So with all this being said, we're so excited to see you over at Oxy. We're going to watch you on the live games. Get your schedule. We do this with everyone. So it's so amazing. I have the pleasure of being able to coach you, not just, at this level with Semper Fi, but previous
right.
And then compete against you in the high school level. So it's always been a blast with you. Thank you for taking time and talking to us. We're going to let you in this conversation. We're going to let you in this interview. So what I want you to do is say a little something to the underclassmen and thank some quick people, and then say goodbye, and we'll end the conversation then.
Well, I'll start with the underclassmen. Honestly, I know probably this quarantine might be freaking them out a little bit, especially the incoming seniors. But honestly, if you just keep contact with the coaches, you can email, text them, send them videos like Coach Monty was saying, you'll be fine. And Coach Sean has so many connections. Like, don't freak out too much because they have so many coaches that will help them get to where they want to be. Like, you guys have helped so many people get recruited. So I'm honestly not worried for them just because Coach John and you are like there to help recruit and get their videos out. So they shouldn't freak out too much, but I think they should still be focusing on making sure they're sending out all their emails, getting that done just so they don't fall off the face of the earth regarding recruiting. And then I want to thank my team for always being there and all the coaches, because honestly, this season we had was so much fun. And I want to thank my family for always supporting me and being there for me and cheering me on no matter what.
Well, thank you for taking time, hon. We wish you nothing but the best.
You too, Coach Monty. All right,
Talk
bye.
with you soon. Bye.